You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Monday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Monday, March 31st, episode 3658, brought to you by WERM Flooring. Good morning, horse people.
You have found Horses in the Morning on a Monday. You're in for an amazing horsey week of laughter, learning, and fun with Glenn and Jamie.
Well, today in our rescue highlight, we're going to highlight the Freedom and Whisky Rescue and the importance of education for adopters. Plus, I have a study show and your Equestrian First World Problems. And don't forget, tomorrow is April 1st, April Fool's Day. Just reminding you
all the stupid crap on the internet. You guys don't believe anything you see tomorrow. It's not real.
The Tampa airport actually started it last week, where they put up this long announcement about how they were getting too many complaints about their airport, so they're closing. And it was on their social media pages. And then other airports started chiming in and saying, well, now that Tampa's closing, we'll take their traffic. We're not made for it, but we can build some runways quick. And it was all these airports going back and forth in Florida about this, obviously, April Fool thing. So, yes, I look for equine. Well, who usually does
Somebody's
it?
Getting fired. Somebody's getting fired.
Eventing Nation, Horse Nation, we know we'll see it there. The Chronicle usually does something, so you're going to see it all over the place. There are usually some clever ones. I think in recent years, though, they haven't been quite as good.
Guess where you won't see it?
On our show.
Here.
Yes, that's right. Everything we talk about today is, in fact, true.
Maybe. As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we check. I did want to remind everybody that the virtual Tevis 2025 starts on Wednesday, April the 2nd. We have 23 members of the HRN team so far this year. There's still time to join if you want. Go to the HRN Virtual Tevis 2025 Facebook page. All the details are there, how you can go and sign up and everything. I know Jennifer signed up. So if you want to sign up for the virtual Tevis this year, go ahead and do that in the next day or so. Also, they announced that the LA 28 Olympic Organizing Committee has announced that Galway Downs will probably be the host to the equestrian and para-equestrian competitions. It's waiting a final approval. You've been there, right?
I loved competing at Galway. It's so fun. It's so fun
for all these different disciplines. I mean, is it a good place for it?
There's great show jump ring. There's a bunch of dressage rings. There's cross country. They even have a track. So Galway Downs was a racetrack. And I remember competing on Jet. Lord, Jet was probably the most difficult horse I've ever had. And we got all the way up to training and we ran training at Galway. But what the fun part was, Jet was an ex-racehorse and had some severe trauma. And the warm-up arena used to be directly next to the racetrack, and they had their gates. They would still break horses out of the gates and gallop the track, and the gates were right next to
the show was going on.
Yes, because if you had a 8 a.m. ride, you were screwed, or if you had an off-the-track thoroughbred. So they're breaking horses out of the gates right next to my dressage warm-up, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is how I die. Like, this is it. I'm coming, Elizabeth. This is it.
Every thoroughbred running eventing was all of a sudden galloping away.
Oh my God. You could see who had the thoroughbreds. Like, you could totally see. But no, I mean, I haven't been there in years, but just in the time that I was there, they morphed it into just quite a spectator friendly. That's kind of what they were going for. More of a spectator friendly horse trial. And it is awesome.
How about the infrastructure around hotels and all that stuff? Is there anything around it?
Yeah, I honestly, I slept in my trailer, so I don't know, but I think that it's in Temecula, so there's like a town there. I mean, it's a suburb of Los Angeles, so it's like probably an hour and a half from LA. So yeah, I mean, it's not in the middle of nowhere.
Well, good. Well, then we're looking forward to that. That's coming up quicker than we think. All right, let's do some daily Whinnies. I have one auditor birthday today, Paula Hansford. Happy birthday to you, Paula. Also, another Daily Winnie goes out to two-time winner now, Tick Maynard, who won his second Road to the Horse World Championship of Colt Starting, happening in Lexington, Kentucky over the weekend. And he apparently kicked butt, did it again. The competition apparently was pretty good this year. And, from what I heard, the horsemanship was really good. Tick setting the stage again, though. We'll have to have him on soon to talk about it.
Love it. That's so cool.
Good job, Tick.
Well, it seems to be that season, Glenn. Everybody's getting a new horse. So I wanted to give a little shout out. I love it when you guys get new horses and let us know. So first of all, Elizabeth, oh, bless her. She got a new standardbred. Elizabeth got a standardbred that is 22 years old, blind. She rescued it, but was scarred and beat up. She says she's hesitant to walk forward, but is surprisingly pleasant, enjoying hay and drinking water if I lead her up to it. She will get veterinary care this week, and we will evaluate her quality of life. Oh, thank you for saving her. I'm assuming it was probably from if she's like that, not nice place. So thank you for doing that. Also, Andrew, good Lord, bought my freaking dream horse. His name is Bohemio. 6 weeks ago, he says, he's such fun to ride. I feel so lucky to have done so. Today we cantered, and it's just beautiful, beautiful horse. And then Brooklyn got a new horse. She says his new name is Hank. She wasn't a current fan of his current name, Soldier Boy. Yeah. Ugh. Also, Soldier Boy's a song.
What do you call him, boy or soldier? I don't know what you'd call him.
I don't know, but it's a dirty song. So good for you for changing his name. And congratulations to Brooklyn and Hank, Andrew and Bohemio, and Elizabeth and her new mare, who she probably will give a beautiful name to, and hopefully they live happily ever after. But do what you need to do, Elizabeth. We're excited for you.
Well, I wanted to also mention that we're thinking about all of our listeners in Michigan. That's our number one state for listeners, and they had a huge ice storm over the weekend. There's hundreds of thousands without power. Probably our Michigan listeners aren't listening to this anyway, but I know they had a rough, and there were some bad storms up that way, and I know that the country's in for some bad storms, and hopefully they'll help put out the fires in the Carolinas. We have some friends that live near there that have been watching the news. So let's keep the entire country. For once, it's not you and I.
The entire country just needs to calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Now, we're supposed to be in the mid-90s this week. So we're having
we
ice
got rain
storms
and
in
hail
Michigan.
on Saturday.
What's that?
We had rain and hail on Saturday. So, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, you're right. The entire country just needs to calm down.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah. Just calm down.
Well, I have a study show for you. We haven't done that in March yet, believe it or not, so we're going to do that. But first, we have to talk about your barn floor. We haven't gotten an update. You had WERM flooring put on your barn floor, which is kind of rubberized flooring. And
I'm having a serious problem with it, actually.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
Would you like to know?
I haven't asked you lately, so.
I know. So this rubber floor, my farrier says it's like the floor is giving your foot a hug. Okay. Now, mind you, I have Duke, who is 33 years old, and he is pretty much the reason I opted to get the WERM flooring on the barn floor, because he would slip and he would come out of the stall and he slipped because he gets picked on by everybody. I mean, bless his heart. He's like in his 30s and he gets picked on by all the horses. And so now he feels like he's okay to just trot down the barn aisle. Like if you're leading him, if you sometimes I just let him in because he goes right to his stall because he's 33 and he knows the drill and his food's in there and he's happy. And now it's like, I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, just like the country, calm down. You don't need to be exuberant just because the barn floor is so nice. But like, how cool is that? Like, he's like, it makes him feel younger almost. Like, he's like, I got this. And he just takes off trotting down the barn aisle and runs in his stall. Like, stop it. Stop it. You're too old for these shenanigans. But yeah, so I love it.
It definitely is less slippery.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's
when wet.
Yeah. Oh. It does not get slippery at all. It's so awesome. I love it so much. You walk in the barn, everybody walks in the barn's like, oh my God, this is so nice. I'm like, I know. It's so nice. It's so nice. So I've sent a couple people over there to get quotes for their barn because like, it changes everything. It's so nice.
And you've had it for a while now. Is it holding up? I mean, there's no spots where it's torn up or anything.
No, it's awesome. They put such a thick coat on it. I mean, literally, they like were taking wheelbarrows full of this like rubbery, gluey mixture and troweled it onto my barn floor, and it is just fantastic. I love it. It's great. I can't say enough good things about it.
Well,
there
yeah,
you go.
good.
How about that? How is that for a commercial?
Yeah, anyway. Well, yeah, that's interesting because we haven't had a chance to really talk about it since you've gotten to use it heavy. And to clean it, you hose it off?
So what I do is I blow it. I don't hose it off because I don't want water all over my walls. So what I just do is I blow it. I did buy a stronger blower because I had a blower that basically was like this. Like I could blow harder than that. So I did buy a stronger blower. And like what I do, because my barn house kind of long after you muck stalls, I blow it and I kind of blow like a couple piles in front of stalls, and I'll use like a little like dustpan, scoop it up, throw it in there, and then blow the rest out. So I get the big chunks gone, but yeah, the good news is I can't really sweep it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, not sweeping is lovely.
I know, right?
Well, WERM Flooring, that's WERMflooring.com to find a dealer near you. All right, it's time to do some study show. And what that is for new listeners is every month I go to Google and I put in study show, and I put for the last month. And these are the things that we've kind of wasted money studying over the last month. Now, I think with all the budget cuts in Washington, I'm worried that my study show probably going to go away.
Oh, it'll find a way. It's like Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
I think they did announce there's a new Jurassic Park coming out. It's like, how can we beat that one anymore? All right, study show for March, and I have it as a guessing game, so you can play along at home.
You used to read it, but it was tough. Now what he's going to do is he's going to read up until the point, and then we all have to guess together. And if you guys ever have any good suggestions, email me.
Well, here we go. Study show for March, and the first 4 involve exercise. Exercise was well studied this last month. So there was one study. Last month we had a study that showed this. Now there are 3 more. I guess one study wasn't enough. They had to do multiple studies to discover that weight loss isn't.
It's not easy. Jesus, I had surgery like 8 weeks ago, and I am just a marshmallow of myself. I can't even stand looking at myself in the videos, but then I can't really exercise because I can't use my left arm to do exercises with. So it's just really, really hard. Weight loss is, shut up, Glenn. I'm not going to run. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
All right. 3 new studies show weight loss isn't all about diet and exercise. Remember, we had the one last month that said it isn't all about diet and exercise.
Well, what is it?
Now there's, I don't read them. I just look at the headlines.
If it's not diet and exercise, could it possibly be the intermittent fasting that I'm attempting? Because like that is the best I can do right now. Okay.
Well, I'm going to contradict it with the next study. Here we go.
Oh,
exercise blank increases lifespan. True or false?
I don't know. I think you hit a certain age, like, you probably shouldn't exercise because people just fall over when they're your age.
You're close. A new study found that higher levels of physical activity may not benefit lifespan as much as previously thought. So all those people
but it sure does. Like my husband's working out a lot. I'm like, dang, you look good. Like he looks like he's getting some Captain America arms.
Well, see, now he may not live longer, but at least he'll look good till he dies, right?
Dang right. That's right.
And now I can say this study proves that I really didn't need to exercise after all. 5 minutes a day of exercise can improve.
5 minutes a day of exercise can improve, I don't know, your morale.
No, it just says your life. Again, these studies are so contradictory today. We have one study that says it isn't all about diet and exercise. We have another that says exercise may not increase your lifespan, but this one does say that it will improve your life. So is Chad's life improved now?
So what I just got out of all of that is all I have to do is exercise 5 minutes a day.
Yes,
hell
apparently.
Yeah. I can carve out 5 minutes.
You ride a horse for 5 minutes a day. You're fine. Now, this one is the dumbest of all of the exercise ones. Climbing stairs can improve what, Jamie? Don't overthink this. Don't overthink
knee pain.
No, I don't think it improves that.
Oh, ramps it up. Okay. Climbing stairs can what?
Improve what?
Climbing stairs can improve cardiovascular fitness.
No, you're overthinking it. This is a study that said climbing stairs can improve your leg strength.
Oh my God. That's so stupid. Somebody paid for that? Who paid for that? I want to know the companies that are paying for this crap.
All right, we're going to move on to something different. Daylight savings time, like we didn't know this already, causes what?
Me to feed my children dinner at 8 p.m. and then freak out because they need to be in bed by 9 because school's the next day. And like, I completely lose track of time. And so I'm outside feeding the horses and doing stuff until like, I don't know, 8:30. And then I come in and I'm like, oh my God, how is it? So it's panic inducing because you go, oh my God, how is it 8:30 already? Was I close?
That's exactly right. Daylight savings time causes lower productivity, higher mental health issues, and higher healthcare costs.
Okay, well, I disagree with the first one because I'm super productive.
I know,
but I am
too.
super anxious too. So,
and we already know this. Why do we keep doing it? And a new study shows that retail customers. This is actually a study. I actually did look at this one because it kind of was the business I was in. New study shows that retail customers returning to a business create. Let me try. This is a complicated study. Let me rephrase it. Do customers returning to a business, they come the first time and then they come back, do they spend more or less than new customers do?
Do they spend more? Probably spend more. No. I don't know. They probably spend more. They spend more because they know what there is and they know what they want.
Ding. So what it proved was that brand new customers walking in for the first time spend less than people who are returning. And it was 67% more for returning customers than new customers.
So every Tuesday, I take Homer, bless his heart, to chemotherapy up in the city in Oklahoma City. And I have to drop him off and they're like, we'll call you when we're done. And so I have been making rounds of random stores in Oklahoma City. And yes, the chemo is expensive. And yes, we are working hard at it. But oh my God, my food bill at Trader Joe's has been off the charts because there's only one Trader Joe's in this entire state and it's in Oklahoma City and it's so close. It's like 4 minutes from the vet. And so, yeah, I go back there. I'm I'm supposed to go tomorrow. And Anna was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll go back to Trader Joe's, but we don't need anything. Like I have everything that store has sold. I bought in the last 3 weeks.
You must have 100 bottles of wine by now.
Oh my God. It's out of control. No, I don't have that. I don't buy wine because I drink wine. That's my problem.
But I remember last time I was at a Trader Joe's, the one whole wall was wine. Just the entire thing.
I avoid that section, but I do have 47 Trader Joe chapsticks. Like so good.
Karen retired, and all of a sudden your chapstick supply from Kentucky Performance Products dwindled.
I know. Yeah. I know. I'm going to make good on some chapstick when I get to Kentucky because they have a booth, and I'm going to go and I'm going to rate it.
Studies show that just sniffing this herb can increase your mood.
Increase your mood?
Yeah, make you in a better mood.
Oh. Marijuana?
Well, that's what I thought. I left that open because I knew you were going to say that. And that's what I thought it would be. So I actually looked at the study because I had to figure out what herb it was. Apparently it's rosemary. Just sniffing rosemary makes you happier, increases your mood.
That's so boring.
I know.
I mean, I don't even smoke pot, but I was like, that's a gimme.
This is a good one for all men everywhere who have been married for longer than 25, 30 years.
Sniffing rosemary or smoking rosemary?
No. New studies find that women have better or worse hearing than men.
I think I've described to you the setup that I've used for radio for the last, oh God, it's been 25 years I've been doing radio. And for the entire 25 years, I can't wear headphones on both ears.
Right.
I can only wear headphones on my left ear. So I'm pretty sure that I'm almost completely deaf in my left ear, but my right ear's fine. And so y'all don't talk about me because I'll just tip that right ear towards you and I'll hear it. Okay. I'll hear everything. So I would say that my hearing is bad, but my husband's hearing is way worse because he's in planes all the time.
Well, it did show that women's hearing is much better than men, regardless of age or environment. So when you guys all accuse us of not hearing when you're talking and thinking that we're doing selective hearing, in fact, this study proves that we just can't hear. So it's not selective. It's nothing to do with you. We just don't
ladies, what you need to do is just get in his face and read my lips. Get it done or whatever you need to tell them. So we're just going to have to get in your face a little bit more. That's what that study tells me.
I would have said that women had worse hearing than men. That would have been my guess. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Jennifer doesn't hear me because I talk too much and she just tunes me out. But
like my dad can't hear anything. My father-in-law can't hear anything. And my husband can't hear anything. Men are disasters.
Do you think though, seriously, that it has something to, maybe men tend to have jobs that are louder, equipment and, that kind of thing?
My dad is an insurance agent. Give me a break.
Hereditary. And I think it is hereditary because Jennifer has worse hearing than me and her whole family can't hear. So, I think it is hereditary. New studies show 3 reasons we're all getting dumber. Not this one I had to read. So, can you guess the 3 reasons? Don't overthink it.
Oh, God, so many. Let's see. I think people... I will just be offensive if I guess. Okay. Just give me the answers.
Well, the first one is something we prove every Friday, that there's a decline in literacy. And I would say a decline in spelling and punctuation too.
So are smartphones making us stupider?
Yeah. Well, that's the second one. Attention spans are declining. And I blame TikTok for that because, you got an attention span of 30 seconds now.
What?
So...
And where am I?
This is an interesting one, and I think this just has to go with the way the world is now. And you probably see it, parents probably see it more who have kids that are especially teenagers. Critical thinking and problem solving have declined drastically.
That's just a man thing.
Do you see it in your kids, though? Do you think that they have less critical thinking than maybe we did?
He's an 11-year-old boy. Yeah, he's an idiot. Like, I love him, but he's an idiot. And they're just, some of my husband is not 11 and he's an idiot. Like there are things I'm like, what did you just do? Why did you do? Like, I always say, like, here's what you like to do. You like to go around your elbow to get to your butthole. Like, why? Why do you do that? It's so much easier.
Well, this is what we'll do. This is the last one. This is the dumbest one of them all. A study in Denmark claims that sleeping with the Wi-Fi on, in other words, leaving your Wi-Fi on in your house and your phone, is doing what?
Obviously, they're going to say something like it's melting our brain.
No, that wasn't it. A new study in Denmark claims that sleeping with the Wi-Fi on is killing your houseplants.
Oh, good Lord. We got to take care of those.
Now, why isn't the Wi-Fi killing the houseplants during the day is my question. Why is it only at night that they're killing your houseplants? I don't know.
That is a good point, Glenn.
And how exactly? I didn't read the study.
Probably because photosynthesis occurs in the dark hour, and like the Wi-Fi, there's got to be some science to it. They couldn't have just said that. I'm going to read that study. I'm going to Google it.
There's always one that you focus on, and I would never get right which one. If I guessed which one you were going to focus on, I would never get it right. Like the houseplant one. All right, let's give our guest a call. This is part of our highlights of horse rescues, and today we're with the Freedom and Whisky Equine Rescue. Well, Wendy, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be here.
Now, we kind of highlighted you guys and one of your horses last month, and Melissa was on doing that, and we wanted to have you back because I had some questions for you on that we've never asked a rescue before. But first, it's Freedom and Whisky Equine Rescue. Remind everybody where you're at.
We are located in Cat Harpin, Virginia, which is in the Northern Virginia area.
Well, you're in an area with a lot of horses,
yes.
Yeah. So you guys got started back in 2014?
Yes. Yep, but 2014.
And started with a miniature donkey. Tell us about that.
We did. It was just, one of those things where we asked, a friend of ours asked if we could help raise some money for some donkeys that were down on the border that needed some help. And I had horses my whole life, but I'll be honest and say that I did not know a lot about the slaughter industry or the kill buyer industry or anything like that. So I reached out and said, sure, I'll help you. And then once that kind of rolled around, I started talking to her and, said, tell me more about what this is. I didn't, know everything. And she said, well, why don't you come out and see these donkeys, the ones that you helped raise money for? And we went out there and we had raised enough money for 5 donkeys. And she said, do you want to take them? And I said, oh, yeah, no, I was just helping you guys raise money. I mean, I wasn't quite prepared to take 5 donkeys. But she said, I think you should look at this one little donkey. He's having a tough time adjusting. And he was a mini donkey, but he was really on the small side, very small, very timid. And before you knew it, we were loading him up in a trailer and taking him home.
Of course you were.
And that kind of started the journey for us.
That's what happens.
Big sucker written on the forehead for that one. But he kind of started the journey. And from there, I started learning more about it. And I'm almost ashamed to say that even though I had been born and raised in horses and been riding since I was 8 years old, I did not know a lot about the slaughter industry and about how horses are, treated and so forth. So I started educating myself, and that kind of started the journey.
And now you do horses and donkeys, right? We've talked a lot about donkeys here on the show lately and how different they are. Were you surprised at how different they are than dealing with horses? I
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's almost like relearning an entire different species in a lot of ways, because the things that I was used to doing with horses did not necessarily work with the donkeys, and they're very sensitive, and we had to approach them from a very different way. Rolo, it took us almost a year, that first donkey that we got, to really get him to trust us. And it was a long year of just a lot of patience and a lot of time, but he taught me the most. And I'll always be grateful for that little guy and what he taught me, because now with the donkeys that we have, I feel I'm better prepared.
So part of this chat today is about educating the adopters, the people who are adopting horses and donkeys. When they come to you and they want to adopt a donkey, what kind of things do you try and make sure of before you'll let a donkey go to somebody?
Yeah, whether it's a donkey or a horse, we want to make sure that they understand what they're getting into. And sometimes the conversation, if someone was looking at it from the outside, they would say, oh, maybe you're being a little negative. But the reality is that a lot of people that get into horses don't really have a full understanding of what the requirement is. And that's for donkeys or horses or anything. And we are very upfront, like, this is what your anticipated bills are going to look like. This is what feeding in 5 inches of snow looks like. And this is what is required 24/7, 365 days a year. And if you have COVID or you have the flu, too bad, those horses need to be fed. And we're very blunt, very upfront, and very honest about that. And we also encourage them to come out, work with the donkeys, work with the horses, see what it's like to be out here in really crappy weather. I mean, I'm the one where I'll look at the forecast and I will schedule them on a really bad day when it's pouring rain outside, because that's the reality of owning these animals. And that is the reality of what it takes to care for them for their lifetime.
Well, it gets a lot less of them coming back to you then, too, by doing it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, saves a lot of hassle.
We do weed out some.
What percentage of people coming to you for adoptions are current horse owners, more experienced horse owners, and what percentage are brand new? Do you know?
Percentage-wise, I'd say that it's probably a little less on the experienced horse side and higher on the new in the industry, which obviously poses some problems, in the sense that we want to make sure that the horse is going to be cared for and that that they're going to be in a safe environment. But I think that's up to the way I look at it, the way that we look at it here, is that's kind of our responsibility to help people. I didn't start out in this industry, and I'm sure you guys didn't, knowing everything. It took
We
years
still
and
don't.
years and years. Yes, and that's the thing. I still don't. I mean, I still learn and evolve and get educated all the time. And I think that that's what we have to do with these people. I recently adopted a horse out to a couple that had ridden as kids but didn't own a horse. And they have adopted one of our horses, and I'm out there almost on a monthly basis with them, working with them, talking with them, showing them things. I text, I call, we communicate. They know that they have an open line to us anytime they want to ask a question. And that isn't just empty words with us. That is legitimate. Like, I don't care if you need to call me at 2 a.m. because you think the horse is colicking, call me. I will come out. I will help you. I'll do whatever I need to do, because my concern is not only the horse, but obviously educating people like, hey, this is what this is. And I think that that's part of our job, to help get people educated with donkeys and horses.
It's interesting because Jamie retrains thoroughbreds for rescue in Oklahoma. And I think, Jamie, you have a little different experience because the ones that are coming for the thoroughbreds tend to be horse people. They tend to not be brand new.
Yeah, nobody who wants a thoroughbred typically is brand new, and if they are, we definitely counsel them on some of those decisions that they're making. But some of them, a couple, I can say that there's a couple people that are kind of new, but we had some horses that were applicable to that, easier for that. But yeah, definitely, we probably see more of the. It's our second horse, third horse, fourth horse. They're adding to their herd, that kind of thing.
So
yeah, I mean, and I think it depends on the area that you're in. I mean, we're up in one of the wealthiest areas in the country, and I think that there's still a stigma attached with rescue horses, that they're, broken down. They're not, any good in a lot of ways, and that's kind of the things that we hear sometimes. And I think that's maybe why in our area, I think in our area, that tends to be they're looking for these high-end dressage hunter jumpers, and they're looking for them to be imported in from Europe, and they're looking for, the ones that have been with FEI and Grand Prix dressage trainers. And,
you don't have those?
For
Weird.
example, no, we don't. But, like that Frisian that I have sitting here, she still is unadoptable, but yet she has all the potential in the world, but no one will give her a chance because she's associated with a rescue.
Okay, so that's interesting because I know your area well, and it is a very high-end area. And I thought, in the high-end area, you'd do better with people just wanting companion horses and things like that. I didn't think that it would be just the opposite, that they want anything to do with a rescue.
Yeah, no, they still have a lot of stigma around here, a lot. And I had a person that I trust and I value their opinion. They're a trainer out here. They're associated with a very large barn. And she flat out told me, I think you would be better pulling that Frisian out of the rescue and trying to just sell her, on your own. But that's not what we do. I mean, we don't sell them, we adopt them. And, that wasn't what we wanted to do. I still hope that there's a market for her somewhere. We just have to be patient with her and keep up with her training.
So if she's not a rescue, if the horse isn't a rescue and it's being adopted out, you have a better chance of getting rid of it, probably for 10 times the money if you sold it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely, which is ironic. I mean, It's not, for us, it's not about the money. It's about, I want to make sure that she has the best home available.
Are you guys part of the Right Horse Initiative?
So we are a member of them, yes. And we're a part of the larger group out here as well, which is the Partnership for Horse Alliance and also the Coalition of Horses, Homes for Horses out here. So we do participate in all of that.
Yeah, it seems to me like they do such a great job of getting the horses kind of out there, and they kind of seem to help combat that stereotype of a rescue horse. I'm so sorry you guys deal with that. That sucks. I mean, there's some of the best horses in the world standing in a rescue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree. I mean, I've had everything from high-end horses of my own to rescue horses now. And I just think the rescue horses can't be beat. Once you gain their trust and they put that trust into you, I just don't think there's anything better in the world than that. I mean, truly, it's like, you just know that they're saying, okay, I can trust you. You helped me. You helped me recover both mentally and physically. And I'm going to, give my faith into you. And there's just, to me, nothing better in the world than having that feeling with them.
You must too. You've been doing this long enough. You must, when you have brand new people coming, there's probably 4 or 5 things that when they say it, you go, okay, they're out, because they're just little indications they give you that this is not going to work out. I mean, you must be able to spot it in 5 minutes now.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely key factors. And around here, we still deal with, a lot of, flippers that want to come in and they're looking for cheap horses that they can turn around and resell. And, the number one thing that gives me tingles is when they say, well, you have a no sale, no breed contract. Is that really do you really mean that? And that's a red flag, because obviously that's telling me that they're either interested, if it's a mare young enough, they want to breed the mare, or they want to put a little bit of time and training into it, and then they want to turn around and flip it. So those are red flags immediately. The other red flag for me is if they say, well, I just want it for my grandkid to plop around on once a month, and then otherwise it's just going to sit in the pasture. Those are red flags.
Well, and most rescues have that contract anyway. I mean, that's most of them that I've ever seen have some kind of agreement where you can't sell it next week. It's just,
correct.
Even the big ones have that.
And people still screw that over and try
they
to
do.
get it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's give Kai another shot here. And it's ironic that this month on the show we highlighted the Frisian was our breed that we highlighted. So let's talk a little bit about Kai again.
Yeah, Kaya came to us as a neglect case. She wasn't abused. She wasn't, anything. Her owner passed away, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the owner did not make any strong provisions for her Frisians and left them to a boyfriend. And the boyfriend basically did not, either he didn't understand that or he didn't care. We're not really sure. He just drove away from the property one day and left all the Frisians in the pasture.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't think that they were his responsibility. And the local county stepped in and went out and, discovered that the horses did not have adequate food and shelter and water, and they took possession of them. And we were contacted by our vet at the time and asked if we would take in one of the younger one, Kaya, because she felt that she would have a better chance getting trained and worked with us. And so that's how we got Kaya into us. Kaya came to us in very good health condition, actually. She was one of the fatter ones that came out. Her mother, who was a broodmare, unfortunately, did not suffer the same fate and was so bad of shape that she had to be euthanized. But Kaya was just unhandled, and we spent the first year just gaining her trust and getting her calm and getting her used to us and just getting brushed and groomed and blanketed and all those things that, horses do. And then once we got her to a certain point, we sent her out for training. We sent her to 6 months of natural horsemanship training and then 6 months of dressage training with a local FEI and Grand Prix dressage trainer.
You sent her to Jess Idle, right?
We did.
Yeah,
we did send her to Jess Idle, and the natural horsemanship was with a trainer that a lot of people might have seen on TV, but that's Scott Purdom with Purdom Horsemanship, Advantage Horsemanship, and they both did excellent with her. I mean, she just came out of that training such a remarkable, different horse. I mean, she wants to please, she wants to connect. We did have to pull her back because as a rescue, we just simply couldn't keep up with the training fees. You're talking $2,500 a month. And, it's just excessive for most rescues to keep up that kind of expense. So we did have to pull her back. We've been keeping up with some of her training by doing lunging and working and groundwork. So she will need to get kind of restarted again, but she's ready. She still has so much life left in her. She is a registered Frisian. Her mother and father are, absolute wonderful bloodlines. Her father was Loki 371, which if you Google him, you can still see all his videos on YouTube. He was a world champion stallion. And she just needs that one person that's willing to kind of put in a little bit of confidence and work with her and get her restarted, and they can have a great horse for the next 15 years or more, because she's she's great. She's just the sweetest, lady, really. I mean, she just so beautiful, so sweet on ground manners. We put her with one of our feral babies that came into us. She immediately took to that baby, put that baby in its place, and started teaching the baby manners, and got that feral little mare under control in no time. And now that mare is the sweetest little thing too.
Well, so what I see here is Kaya's 16 years old, born in 2009, 15 one hand, so it's not a 17 hand Friesian.
Nope.
And, which is great for more people, actually, that height. So it's available. It's at your place, right, in Virginia?
Yes.
Okay, so take a look at the website. I'll put a link to it too. You have other horses too, but we want to find a home for this Friesian, being that it's Friesian month here. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Let's find a home. Thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate it. It's
thank you.
freedomandwhiskyrescue.org, freedomandwhiskyrescue.org, and you can find Kaya and all the other horses and donkeys and whatever that are available there at the rescue. Thanks, Wendy.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Take care. Actually, for the training and everything they have put on, if you're experienced at all, this would be a cool, fun project. And this horse will last another 10 years. So
I'm not charging enough. If she's paying $2,500 a month in training, that's what I got out of that. I got up my price.
Location. Although you probably could up your price. To be honest, we always undercharge. That's what you and I do. We never charge enough for the stuff we do. It's our fault. When it comes to equine health, Cosequin Joint Health Supplement, it didn't just enter the arena, they built it. World-renowned riders like Philip Dutton, Will Coleman, and Julie Goodnight trust Cosequin for their horses. The high-quality, scientifically researched ingredients found in Cosequin products support joint, digestive, hoof, and immune health, the areas most impacted by performance horses. Top riders give their horses the best, and that's why, when performance matters, they choose Cosequin. With over 30 years behind the Cosequin name, you can rely on Cosequin products for when performance matters. To learn more, visit Cosequin.com. I wanted to remind everybody, Equine Affairs next week. I looked at the freaking calendar today and went, I have to go to Equine Affair next week. That came up quick. So we are going to be doing a meetup. If you're going to Equine Affair, we're going to be doing it Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. at the Cheesecake Factory in Polaris, which is right about 20 minutes from where Equine Affair is. And if you're interested in going, there's a Facebook page. I will put a link to it in the show notes, and you can respond there. We're going to need to know by Tuesday how many people are going, because Julie needs to make a reservation. So thanks to Julie Stoltz for organizing this again. I think this is third or fourth year she's done that. And I look forward to hanging out with everybody. Ashley will be there this year, so Ashley will be along. And we'll be hanging out with everybody at the Cheesecake Factory on Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. We hope you guys can make it.
It's time for the weekly look at your Equestrian First World Problems. This ought to be good.
Yes, it's that cathartic time of the week where we get to share our tales of woe with each other, because we all understand each other, because we get it, because we are it. So, Glenn, every Sunday, Monday, whatever, we put up a post on the Horse Radio Network Auditor's Facebook page, and they get to share these problems. So if you want to participate in it, become an auditor. How do they do that?
Go to horseradionetwork.com, scroll down to the middle of the page, click on the auditor banner, and for a donation of as little as $3 a month, you too can join the auditor group.
Okay, perfect. And Ariel said this, that my gelding got body clipped a few weeks ago. Yay. But then the temps dropped. So now I have to blanket him heavier than everyone else.
That's why we try and wait as long as possible.
Yep. Ellen says, my horse is going to a wonderful trainer for a month, but I have to pack the trailer and drive him there. Or there.
Fired to help.
Kaylin says, I was offered my dream job as a horse trainer at an A-circuit hunter barn, but I'm 35 and I have adult obligations and I already have a job, and it's nice to dream and be appreciated, but that'll be so much fun.
In other words, I got offered my dream job, but I still have to pay the bills.
I got offered my dream job, but I'm too old.
Yeah, and I don't make enough, and it pays $10 an hour.
Yeah. Jen says, I got then you've got Jen. I've got a good amount of lessons for my newly started lesson program. But like now I have to teach lessons instead of just ride.
You'll never ride again, Jen.
Oh my God. What I did when I would teach is I would ride while I'm teaching. Now we've all had trainers that did that and didn't pay attention to us at all. And they're like, why am I paying for this? But I was very attentive, but I used it as an opportunity to train the younger horses to like stand still and be patient and be ridden with other horses in the arena.
Yeah, but you know what? Those same trainers, either if they're sitting on the fence, they're still not paying attention to you. So,
right, exactly.
I've seen those
Get a
too.
new trainer.
They're over talking to their friends at the fence, and the group lesson goes on and on and on. They haven't said a word.
Yep, not a thing. Now, this was a screenshot that Melissa sent, and it said it's a true Wellington First World Equestrian Problem. What's funny is her name is Melissa Sandness. And I thought it said Melissa Sadness. And I was like, oh, that is so Equestrian First World. That's where my brain was this morning. And the Wellington West Palm Loxahatchee, Florida Facebook page, here's their problem. It's $350 for sale. It says barn chandelier for sale because it wouldn't fit in my barn. Oh, that's so sad. It's just too small. It's just not big enough. Okay. Amanda says, per the vet's instructions, I clipped my mare's legs to help prevent horrible scratches like she got last year. And now she looks like a poodle. But I forgot to take pictures. It's like it didn't happen. I don't believe you.
We had non-horsey friends come out last week, and Scooter's trace clipped, his belly and stuff. And they came out and they could not stop being fascinated why we only half shaved a horse. That was the thing that they just focused on the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's weird. It's his breed. Yeah. Alicia says, the other week I found out that Ariat makes slip-on tennis shoes, and they were on sale for only $35. It's like they were free. And I thought they would be great for my final month of pregnancy. But they've arrived now, and my feet are too swollen to even try them on. Oh, my God. Having babies is so much fun. Just save them. Your swelling will go down in about 6 to 10 years. Shelly says, I was so happy it was cold this weekend so I could try out my product review winter breeches, and I hate cold. Bright spot. You got new breeches to try. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. Sarah says, I've used shedding tools, brushes, bathed, blanketed, and fed supplements to get my gelding looking good. And my husband knocks off the dirt where the saddle goes and rides, and his mare is mostly shed out, and she looks shiny and beautiful, and my horse looks like an old, worn-out stuffed animal. I feel bad for Anna because she rides Miles, and he is just a round, puffy mud stain. And I have Ace, who's already shed out, and he's like, looks so gorgeous and everything. And I'm like, you better put some elbow grease in that girl. All right. And finally, I'm doing Megan's last because this is a reoccurring nightmare. And I had this nightmare last Friday. You can ask Patty because I texted her the next morning because it was so real that this happened to me. And she was like, that's funny. But it actually happened to Megan. So now this is reaffirming my fears. And I know what I'm going to dream about for the next week because I have signed Ace up this weekend. He is competing in his first ever horse trial. Now, the jumps are like 18 inches, but I have never been able to gallop him on cross country and just see what he's got because I constantly have to kind of babysit other horses or I've had to be more careful. Anna was with me. I couldn't just run up and leave her. And so I haven't really schooled. So I've signed him up for this 18-inch division, but he's going to do a dressage, cross country, and show jumping. This is like a big day. But now Megan is ruining it for me because she says, I finally moved from training level to first level. It has taken me, so many years. And I went to the first recognized show of the season this weekend. And I was eliminated from my test because I showed up late to my ride time. I dreamed, last Friday, I was like, all night. I was like, oh my God, I have 45 minutes to get to the horse show and I'm still at home. I have to get dressed. I have to load the horse. It's like a constant reoccurring nightmare that this can happen to me. And Patty was like, it's not till next weekend. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, now I'm going to dream this all weekend because of you, Megan. Oh, do y'all have reoccurring nightmares like that too? Does anybody have like I'm late for the horse show. My ride time's in 45. Like I was like, I have 45 minutes to load my horse after getting dressed and the horse is only 2 miles away. So I was like, possibly I can do it, but I'm freaking out. And I don't remember the test.
When I first met Jennifer, all the shows were 3 hours away. So we were doing that at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God.
Why do I dream that? I don't know. It's so scary. And I'm sorry that happened to you, Megan. And you know what? Dreams really do come true.
They're kind of picky. Some horse shows are better. The smaller the horse show, they'll let you fudge. But
this is she said it's her first recognized horse trial. Yeah, you're screwed.
No fudging there. That does suck because you know how much she paid to get in there too.
And she says it's taken so many years to get to first level, and she finally shows up for a test, and they're like, "Sorry, you're late. Bye." Yeah, that's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. I
still have recurring high school dreams of being late to class because I couldn't find it.
Are you serious? Yes. You still do that?
That's how traumatized I guess I was.
I would say that this is probably my only reoccurring nightmare that I have. I guess that's the topic of the day is what is your reoccurring nightmare? Horses or not horses? Glenn?
Not horses. It's high school, apparently.
Yours is high school. It was a trying time.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. You know what? Become an auditor if you want to get your Equestrian First World Problem in. We used to post these on the main page, but we got some really weird stuff. So we do it with the auditors now.
Yeah.
It's a little safer.
You had to limit it.
Yeah. It's a little safer. So anyway, that's how you can do it. Just go to horseradionetwork.com and scroll down to the middle of the page. You'll see the auditor banner there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Hold on, auditors. Speaking of auditors for the post show, I'm going to end the show today. But first, I wanted to mention that we have tomorrow. It's the first. Wow. It's the first. We have the American Horse Council episode, and then a little later, and then Jamie and I will be here Wednesday and Friday. So get your weird news into weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com for Wednesday. And we'll be announcing a whole bunch of new prizes on Friday. I got a whole bunch for this month's Really Bad Ads. So we'll be announcing that on Friday as well. I have a saying that I saw the other day, and I thought this was really good. Coffee, this was anonymous. I don't know who to credit it to. Coffee, chocolate, and cowboys. Some things are just better rich.
You got me with that one.
I had to take
was like, where is this
too.
going? Is this going like they're better dark? You know, like I would agree with that too. So
there you go.
Spay Neuter Geld. Almost forgot.